Now, before we start on our final panel on reading curriculum, we want to spend a few minutes honoring two extraordinary people who have made outsized contributions to helping our 6 million California students in reading. We call them the California Reading Hero Awards. We honor two people each year, one an educator and the other a reading advocate. This year, the Advocacy Award goes to someone unexpected, Gary Payton II. You might be familiar with that name from a different context. Gary is an NBA star who last year played a key role in the Golden State Warriors championship season. Any Warrior fans out there? Any Warrior? Chris is a Warriors fan. But he had an equally big accomplishment. Gary took a leading role in promoting universal early screening for dyslexia in California and shared his own personal story as a child growing up with undiagnosed dyslexia. The NBA season is getting underway, so Gary isn't able to join us in person today, but Kareem Weaver caught up with him a couple weeks ago and was able to present the award and talk with Gary about his advocacy. Let's take a look and hear from Gary Payton II.
Let me just start off by saying, on behalf of the California Reading Coalition, I want to present you, Gary Dwayne Payton II, with the California Reading Hero Award for all that you've done advocating for children and others with dyslexia. So listen, I'm gonna just lay it out there. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you don't mind, I just want to kind of call the roll for a second. So, you've had quite a journey. You, in a short amount of time, you hosted the reading rally with Decoding Dyslexia. You pushed the Warriors to expand their whole Reading to Achieve program, right? You led that rally at City Hall, and you were vulnerable and shared your story, your journey with dyslexia, and how you wanted to push for statewide screening for dyslexia. You started GP2 Foundation, bringing awareness to it. You won the NBA Community Cares Assist Award. I see you out there making, PSA announcements with Hayward Unified and other districts. We can't thank you enough for all you've meant, not just to the Bay Area and to the NBA community, but for reading advocates across the country. So with that being said, congratulations on winning this award as well.
Thank you so much. And, thank the California Reading Coalition for, presenting me this award. And it's just such an honor. And I'm just, humble and, continue to bring light to dyslexic and early screening.
What made you, start to speak out and be an advocate for dyslexia?
My own experience growing up and being lost, around my classmates and wondering why I don't understand, or get things the way they did. So I just wanted to bring it to light and let kids know that it's okay to ask for help if you don't understand or you don't learn the way somebody else, in your classroom learns the same. Don't be scared to ask for help.
Well, I appreciate that advice to kids, because a lot of kids, they just don't know what to do and they just kind of hide from it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I was one of those kids that hid from it for a while because I didn't know what was going on and I didn't understand why I didn't get it and a lot of my other classmates did. So, I don't want kids to be shy about it or to go throughout school and, wherever they're at right now to go without learning the proper way for them to learn how to read and break stuff down. So,
because we're going to have a lot of teachers, school people watching this. Would you have anything that you want to say to them, any advice you want to give them, or what would you say to people who are helping kids in school?
Anybody helping kids, teachers, tutors or whatnot, be patient. It's not as easy as it was or as it is for you growing up, or however you learned how to break stuff down. And it's different with kids with dyslexic. They got to break stuff down in the way they understand. So I think you should try to help you learn the way they learn. And then once that, just continue to help them with the tools and provide them the tools and the resources you can, to be as helpful as you can and understand that they have a different learning than other people. And I'm sure it's frustrating. You got like you said, you got a lot of students, different students, you got a lot of different classes. And, that one kid may be struggling and, you may talk to his parents. His parents might not even know either. So he may be getting, two ends of short sticks, teacher, asking why he doesn't understand. And then his parents asking why, you're not doing well in school with your grades. So,
and one other thing, I read a letter on The Athletic, that's the website. A lot of athletes use The Athletic. And there's a letter from your mother. And she wrote this letter. It says, I'm gonna read this quick paragraph.
Go ahead.
It's called A Letter from Mom. She says, You are the perfect ambassador to bring awareness to those affected by dyslexia and encourage early screening. Even parents need the education you are providing. You are helping families avoid some of the trauma that comes from the ignorance and stigmatism associated with learning disabilities. The work of the GP2 Foundation, which is your foundation, is a purpose being fulfilled. And it's all because you had the courage and care for people to be vulnerable. Man, as a father, when I read that, having a child that has dyslexia as well, man, I get it. I get it. Well, listen, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but I just really want to just say thank you. And you know, the California Reading Coalition is honored to give you this award.
Our second awardee is an outstanding educator, and presenting her award is Todd Collins from the California Reading Coalition.
Hey, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. And thank you so much for hosting this meeting. I mean, this has been an amazing meeting so far. I'm overwhelmed at both the panelists and all the incredible contributions in the chat. So this has just been awesome. This next award goes to somebody that I personally, have tremendous respect for. Leslie Zoroya is the Director of Reading and Language Arts at the LA County Office of Education. We've heard from some pretty important education leaders today, like State Superintendent Thurmond and LA Unified Superintendent Carvalho. But I would say that when it comes to improving early literacy in California, there is literally nobody more important than Leslie and her team at LACO. Because no matter how good our policies or funding are, and no matter what reading programs we use, none of that will matter unless our classroom teachers and school administrators know what approaches to use, why it matters, and feel confident using them with their students. And that's where Leslie and her team comes in. Their accomplishments are amazing. This year alone, they're training 10 separate year-long cohorts of K through 5 teachers, plus another 4 cohorts of secondary teachers. On top of that, they delivered aligned programs for reading coaches and school administrators across LA County. They created the Getting Reading Right website. Let me drop that into the chat if I can. Let's see if I can get that in there. I'll have to wait and do it afterwards. They created the Getting Reading Right website where teachers can find self-paced online course on the science of reading. In addition to that amazing website, they produced the Literacy Leader podcast, a newsletter, an early literacy symposium, and a series of online teacher-to-teacher webinars spotlighting successful reading programs across the state. And this year, for the first time, they've started distributing their training to other county offices across the state. Over the last 3 years, they've trained literally thousands of California teachers, administrators, and literacy coaches in the science of reading. And they're just getting started. That's an enormous amount of impact in the place where it matters the most. So it's my great pleasure on behalf of the California Reading Coalition to give this California Reading Hero Award to the amazing Leslie Zoroya.
Well, thank you, Todd. I really appreciate the kind words and the acknowledgement of our work. But I have to begin by saying that this is not so much about me as it is about this amazing team of ladies that I work with. So I have just a team that is so passionate and dedicated. Jessica Sullivan, our secondary coordinator, Marshan Smith, and Terry Applebaum, our senior program specialist for elementary, and our admin assistant, Sylvia Trinidad. So like most things, it takes a village to do this kind of work, to do anything of consequence, and none of this work would be possible without these ladies. We've designed and delivered all of these trainings together, and it's because of their absolute commitment and passion to these trainings and to helping teachers get the reading research and strategies that they need to help all students learn to read, that we can do so many of these cohorts and so many of these trainings. So we also have really great support at LACO from our curriculum and instruction director, Danielle Mitchell, and our assistant director, Jessica Conkle. Their commitment to ensuring that we can get this work done by removing barriers and ensuring that we have what we need to do this work has also been really pivotal for us. The one thing I do want to say about this work is that when I was a kid, I spent my early years in this little town in Indiana, and I lived in kind of a crazy, dysfunctional household. Not sure if any of you can relate to that. but my refuge was the library. So I still have my library card. It even has the little metal piece on it from back in those days. And that reminds me, I keep it by my work on my little board right next to my desk all the time as a constant reminder of the power of the ability to read proficiently. That card saved me in so many ways. I think about all the books that I read in that dinky little library, and the librarian knew me by name, and she would let me check out as many books as I wanted, even though the limit was only 3. And so I would walk home with just, stacks of books. And the truth is that the ability to read proficiently and find refuge in books is not available to many of our students in California. As all of you here today know, we have a reading crisis in our state, and our scores are terrible, and that's why you're here. And we have a lot of work to do to make the shift across the state from what we've been doing in balanced literacy to a structured literacy approach. So what I know for sure is that my team will continue to do everything we can to move the work forward and ensure that every single educator who wants this knowledge gets it. And if you want more information on how you can join in any of our trainings, because most of our stuff is statewide, just email us at rla@laco.edu and we'll get you on our listserv. So again, thank you for my little award here and for the recognition. Our team appreciates the acknowledgement of our hard work that we're doing, and we really look forward to leading this effort in LA County and across the state going forward. So thank you, Todd. Appreciate it.